Lesson 71. The Extended Cut. Only God's plan for salvation will work. There are days when a lesson quietly passes through the mind like a breeze through an open window. And then there are days when a sentence lands like thunder. Lesson 71 is thunder. Look at the world for a moment. Wars that most people cannot even explain. Endless political battles where everyone claims to possess the answer. Fortunes built and lost in the pursuit of power. Families divided over inheritance and control. Endless crime shows replaying the same story. Someone hurt someone else, and now the world must punish them for it. Empires rise, empires collapse. The Murdochs fight over media kingdoms. Bernie Madoff builds an empire on illusion. Politicians promise salvation through power. Influencers promise salvation through influence. Self-help promises salvation through improvement. Relationships promise salvation through completion. Money promises salvation through security. And yet the human search continues exactly where it has always been. Looking, running, trying again. Lesson 71 steps into the middle of that entire storm and says something so simple it almost feels offensive to the ego. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Not many plans, not competing strategies, not different philosophies, only one. The ego hates that word, only, because the ego survives on options, backup plans, alternatives, endless searching. But if only one plan works, the entire maze collapses. And the course then reveals something even more unsettling. The mind is currently following a different plan, one designed by the ego. Now imagine waking up inside a vast maze, hallways stretching in every direction, doors everywhere, each one promising escape. Love behind one door, success behind another, security behind another, recognition behind another. The traveler inside the maze has been running for years, turning corners, trying new paths, trusting a map that promised an exit. But one discovery changes everything. There are two maps. One leads out of the maze, the other leads deeper into it. And the traveler slowly realizes the map being followed was drawn by the maze itself. Paragraph 1 in one sentence. The mind trusts the ego's map for escape, even though it leads deeper into the maze. The traveler also carries a compass. Whenever the question arises, where is the exit, the needle swings outward, toward another person, another situation, another thing that must change first. The compass never points inward. The traveler never notices the compass is broken. Paragraph 2 in one sentence. Grievances constantly point the mind toward external causes, keeping salvation outside itself. Sometimes the traveler believes the exit has finally appeared. A glowing door at the end of a long hallway. Hope rises. The traveler runs. But when the door is reached, the corridor continues. Another turn, another promise, another almost escape. Eventually, something disturbing becomes clear. The exit keeps moving. Paragraph 3 in one sentence. The ego allows any solution as long as the search never ends. After years of wandering, the traveler notices words carved into the walls of the maze. Seek, but do not find. The maze encourages effort, ambition, determination, speed. But every hallway quietly points in the wrong direction. Paragraph 4 in one sentence. The ego keeps the search alive by directing effort towards salvation where it cannot exist. Then a realization appears. The traveler is not trapped because of weakness, not because the maze is unbeatable, but because every step has been taken in the wrong direction. The exit is not found by running harder. It is found by turning around. Paragraph 5 in one sentence. God's plan works because it directs the mind toward the only place salvation exists. Then comes the most shocking message of all. The exit is guaranteed, not possible, not probable, guaranteed. The maze may confuse the traveler, but it cannot eliminate the door that leads out. Paragraph 6, in one sentence. God's plan must succeed because the exit from illusion cannot fail to exist. For the first time, the traveler stops running, stops trying to solve the maze, stops trying to outsmart it. A quiet realization appears. There is an exit. The maze only seemed impossible because the wrong map was trusted. Relief begins replacing desperation. Paragraph 7, in one sentence. Recognizing that an answer exists dissolves the despair created by believing there was none. Now the traveler begins to notice something new. Doors appear everywhere. Love, success, power, recognition, legacy. But every door opens into another hallway. The traveler finally understands. They were never exits, only distractions. Paragraph 8, in one sentence. Seeing that the ego's solutions cannot work frees the mind from chasing them. So the traveler stops guessing. Instead of racing through corridors, a question is asked. What should I do? Where should I go? What should I say? And to whom? For the first time, the traveler hears something that was always present. A guide. Not outside the maze, inside the traveler. Paragraph 9, in one sentence. Salvation unfolds when the mind stops planning its escape and begins listening for guidance. The traveler still walks through the maze, but something has changed. Whenever another hallway tries to pull attention away, the traveler remembers. Not that door, not that door, not that door. Until finally one moment arrives. The traveler sees it. The door that never moved. The door that was never hidden, only overlooked. Paragraph 10, in one sentence. By refusing grievances and remembering the truth, the mind begins to see the exit that was always present. And this is why Lesson 71 lands like a bell in a cathedral. Because if only God's plan for salvation will work, then every war built on grievance collapses. Every political promise of salvation collapses. Every empire built on control collapses. Every grievance held against another person collapses. Every desperate attempt to fix the world before peace can exist collapses. The entire maze collapses. Not because the world changed, but because the mind finally stopped searching where salvation was never located. And somewhere inside the noise of the world, inside the arguments, inside the endless chase, inside the grievances people rehearse day after day, a quiet door has always been standing open. The only door that ever could.